Okay, this is just an addition to test update 11. The system was fully charged. I did not reset it. Excuse me. I did not reset it because I wanted to see how the system would react if you don't reset it. Notice that the voltage is 28.6. Now that's what I was saying. That's the cutoff. 28.6, 28.7. Usually it's just after 28.6. Now we have 80 watts still coming into the system. Oh, see, it spiked up. This perfect timing. It spiked up because that's either the refrigerator or the fridge that kicked on. And you know you have that power surge to get that compressor going. And now it kind of dropped down. And see that? So that means the charge through feature is still working, even though I didn't reset the system to recalibrate the power meter. Power meter still says 100. Let's see. 110 out, 109 because of the drop down, 110. Usually it stays about 110 unless you pull really heavy. Sometimes it might go down to 109. The power factor is 0.6, 0.7. That's the compressor. Like a heater is usually power factor of like 1.0. Let's see. So we'll leave it on the voltage there. 28.6. And notice that the 138 is what I'm using, and 151 is what I'm bringing in. Now, what that's a good indication for me is it takes 13 watts to run this entire system as far as the board and everything, according to this meter. So you figure 13 watts as like, you know, with the inverter, you know, like the background energy noise, if you will, I think. And that's only my theory because, like I said, I haven't opened the machine up to actually figure out what everything is, and I don't have the tools to test the boards like all the big guys do. But I still have, as you see, this one, it's still plugged in there. That's that 200 watt string going into the bottom battery, nothing into the top battery, and then still that 1,000 watts of solar into the main system. And then if you go to the batteries, notice that this battery is now off. It's on standby, but this battery sings. So what's really strange is, and I can't repeat this enough, what's really strange with this system is I can't say for sure what it's doing or how these lights are reacting, but the system is working. So it's just, you know, it's strange but true. You know what I mean? Like I'm still pulling just over like 7,300, 74, even 7,500 watt hours out of the complete system on a full drain. But every once in a while, this one will turn on, and then that will turn on, and then they both turn on. So whatever it's doing, it's doing. Like, you know, I'm not an engineer. I wish I had more knowledge in the background. I'm just an, you know, average fellow that bought a product, and I'm showing you what it's doing in real time, and I think that's important. I never had to replace any of these fuses. And then if we look at the wall, which, like I said, please don't do this. I'm going to have fireboard put there today, a little rock, just so I can keep them up here. I just did these for the video so you could see the actual numbers, and that way I don't have to keep turning them, and that we can see all three at the same time. Always, always, always have a fire protection behind anything that you mount on a wall, especially as you see I have carpet on the wall. Not a good idea, but this will only be there for a few more hours until I get that fireboard from Menards today. But as you can see, we're still pulling 40 volts in from the Thunderbolts, the two Thunderbolts, and that's at 0.6 amps. You know, it's up and down depending on how the system needs it. So that's the charge through feature. So we're getting only about 15 watts-ish off of this run. And then this string, we're pulling in about almost 46, yeah, say they're 46 volts for 1.5 amps, 1.5 amps. So about 75 watts. And then the bottom one, which is a ACOPOWER single panel, 200 watts, that's coming in at 23 volts at 0.11 amps. So it's like almost 3 watts, literally nothing. But what that's doing is the system is grabbing from anywhere it can to replace what I'm using, because that's the charge through feature. So notice that this, see, it went down to 65. 65 is the fridge. Now I figured out the actual wattage for each. 85 is the freezer, and 65 is the fridge. So I'm able to figure out what device is running just by the numbers. You know, if you watch a meter long enough, very simple to figure out what's running just by the numbers. So, as I said, I don't really know how it's working. I would assume, and this is just an assumption, that you would think that when you turn the system on, both batteries would be green, synced, and going. But maybe it doesn't need to. I'm still trying to figure that out. That's a question and a puzzle in my head. But like I said, if I start drawing heavy, this will click on, sync, and then they both go. So they're dropping at the same time. It just, the lights aren't showing it. That's all. And that's I think one of the most puzzling things with this whole model. But like I said, I'm still pulling 7,000 plus easy on every whole system drain. So it's working. So all right, guys, I just wanted to put another update to the last update I did. And, every bit of information helps. Thanks, guys. Drive safe out there, okay? Bye.